Hi there. In this video, I am going to go over node editing in Lightburn. Um, it seems really complicated at first, but once you take a look at it, it's really not as difficult as you may think it is. And I just want to show you, I just want to go over all the different options we have in the node editing. I took a little screenshot here and put it up on the screen so we can look at that and refer to it throughout the video. And we're just going to go down over each one of these tools that you can use when you are in node editing. Now, node editing, if you have a shape here like this that I drew, in fact, let me get rid of that and I will draw a new shape. We'll go over here to our draw lines, our pencil tool. And I'm just going to draw just some funky shape. It doesn't have to be anything. Okay, that's it. Alrighty. So when we draw a shape like this, it is a path. Alright. Now if we draw a predefined shape with one of the shape tools over here, like create an ellipse or a circle. If we create that, I want to show you something. If we go to node editing over here on your left, it says edit nodes. Click on that. There are no nodes on this ellipse we created, but on this one, you can see all the different points and places that we can edit the shape and move things around. This is a predetermined shape. It's not editable right now, but if we go back and we select our little cursor and we select that shape, we right click, we can convert it to a path. Once we convert this to a path, now we get our node editing points. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that if you wonder why, if you drew a rectangle or a triangle or something and you weren't able to edit the nodes, that's why. It has to first be converted to a path. All right, now we are in our node editing mode, and let's take this little shape up here that we got, and you see it's just pretty much straight lines except this one tiny curve. Well, I want to turn, zoom in, I want to turn this one, this little point right here, I want to turn that into a smooth curve instead of the sharp line. So all I do, zoom back out, all I do is while I'm hovering over that, while I have that node hovering right over it, I'm going to simply click S on my keyboard, and now that is a curve, and you can manipulate it. You have your lines here, your pull tabs I like to call them, to adjust the shape with that. And if we want to convert that back to a sharp angle, to a corner, just hover over that same node and click C on your keyboard. Oh, now it's not. Oh yeah, it did. Now it is a sharp angle again. Do you see that? It's no longer a curve. All right. All right, so we did the smooth, and we can also do that with a straight line. Okay, like right here, we have a straight line. This point to this point is straight. You see that? So if I want to convert that, let me just hover over here, set center, and if we click S, we just turned that into a smooth line that we can adjust. Okay. Let's turn that back into a line. Alrighty. Now, next on our list here is creating a curve to a line. Alright, this is all curves on this this shape here. So I'm just going to hover over this line, this curve right here at the top, this node, and I am just going to click L on my keyboard. Oh, no, I'm not. I have to hover over there. And that turned that line straight. You see, I can still bend it, but if you needed a straight line there for any reason, you just hover over the spot, hover over the line where you want it to be straight, and click L, and it turns it into a straight line for you, which is really nice, you know, depending on what your design, what you want to do with your design. You just never know, you know, where you might need this straight line. But there, now we turn that into a completely straight. All 4 points are straight now. Okay, enough on that one. Our next one would be to convert a smooth node to a corner. Now we just pretty much just did that here. Let's go back. Okay, this, now if we want, we still have a smooth node right here on the bottom of this. See, it's rounded. If we just hover over that node and click C, that turns that into a corner. So now that is a sharp corner. That is not, let's zoom in here. You see, that is a sharp corner now. Let's move out of the node editing. You see how that, there's no smoothness now. It is a sharp corner. All right. Let's go on to the next one, the delete node. All right, so let's say you realize you don't, on this shape here, we don't really want this in here. We don't want that angle anymore. We want it to come straight across. So we can just grab that little node right there and click D, and it deletes it completely. So we've eliminated that node entirely. Okay, and the same thing we can do for a line. If we hover over a line and click delete, you can get rid of the line itself. Now you can also insert node points. So let's say I want to make a sharp angle here in the middle. So I'm just going to hover over this line, and I'm going to click I on my keyboard, and that inserted a node. So I can do it right here. I got another one. I could do it here, get another one. So you can insert nodes wherever you want. Now see, on this one, this was a curve here, and when I inserted it, it kept it a curve. All right. So next is inserting a node at midpoint. All right. Let's say on this line here, we want to put a node right in the middle of it. Okay, right here. And it doesn't matter where on the line you put your cursor. You're just going to hover over the line and click M on your keyboard, and it will insert a node in the very center of that line. And you can do that over and over too. It will always choose the center point between two nodes. So if I hover way down here and click M, it's still going to put my node in the middle. Over here, if I hover right next to this node, doesn't matter. If I hit M, it's going to put it right in the center. Okay? Alright, next is break shape at point B. Alright, so you see now these are connected shapes. When I grab on the nodes, they just move around. You know, I'm getting both sides of the node, both lines on each side of the node. Well, if I want to break this, I just hover over, select the node I want, and hit B, and now I have broke those apart. So you can do that, and then if you want to put it back together, you just drag your point over the other one, and you should see crosshairs. I don't know if you can see them very well, but once you see the crosshairs, that means you've joined those points back together. Okay? You can break them apart, hitting B. Whoops, I didn't grab it at the right spot. Hitting B, and to put them back together, just hover over until you see the crosshairs. And now they are back together. All right. Now, the trim. Trim is nice because it will, let's say you drew this shape over here and you accidentally went past, you know, you're trying to draw and you think you have them matched up on the line, but you realize you don't. You know, you went a little bit past the line to just make it, you know, even where it connected right on this line. So if you just hover over this overlap, any places that your lines intersect, if you just hover over the place that it overlapped and hit T, it will trim it right back to the first point it comes to. All right, and this again, if you just hover over and it joins them together. So that's how you trim. That's only, it won't, if I click over here, if I hover over here and hit T, it's going to delete almost all of the shape. It's really only for these overlaps. Like out here, it'll trim it back to there. There, it'll trim it back to the intersecting point. All right. Next would be extend line. All right, so let's break this one apart again. Let's move it. Now I can click, if I hover over, let's see, what do I want to do here? If I hover over this point right here, and I click E on my keyboard, it's just going to extend straight out from that point. Same way over here. If I hover over this one, hit E, it won't extend because it's not facing or, you know, pointed towards the shape. But if I move it over here and I hit E, it still isn't going to do it. Why? There it went, because I just didn't hit it right. You see it extended up to this line. It'll always move straight out. So if I have it over this way and I hit E, it will go up there. If I hit E, it'll come straight across there. It just will always move in a straight line. Okay? Now, these node editing features are really nice. You know, you can adjust shapes. Let's see, let's delete all of this stuff. Let's just delete all these that I drew. All right, and I am going to once again draw just an ellipse. And then I am going to convert it to a path. All right. Now let's say you want to make a shape. All right. I do a lot of earring designs. So let's say you want to design a pair of earrings or a necklace pendant, something, but you know, you don't want this plain old oval, you know. So we converted it to a path. and we're going to click on the node editing, and now you can modify this into any organic shape that you want, you know, and you can make some really really neat designs and really neat shapes just playing around with the nodes and, you know, doing whatever, you know, there's no hard and fast rules. So I like that shape, honestly, so I'm going to flip it so the small part is on top, and you know, right there is a really nice organic shape for a pendant or earrings. The other thing the node editing tool is really useful for is cleaning up shapes. Let's say you traced this cross. Now this cross is supposed to be weathered and rustic, so the lines are very jagged on it, but it's supposed to be this way. But let's say you traced an image and you did get some areas that really need to be cleaned up. So we'll zoom in here and we will click edit nodes. Oh, wait a sec, for some reason I'm not real sure why. All right, click on edit nodes, and now you see we have all of these. Now let's say this is supposed to be a clean line from here up to here, but we've got all this extra. I'm just gonna grab almost all of those. You can do it one at a time. We can go in and go delete, D, 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 and you know, there we cleaned it up into a more straight line. Or you can also left click, drag your mouse over the points that you want to delete, and delete, and I got rid of all of them at once. And then you can just play around and adjust what's left, or you know, if you need to delete a couple more, do it. But it's really nice for cleaning up bad traces, you know, where you've got a lot of artifacts that need to be cleaned up to make this, you know, to make your cuts or engraves, you know, much smoother and nicer looking. So you can, like I said, open up an image or a trace and clean it up, smooth it out. Again, you know, this happens to be a rustic cross. It's supposed to be haggard and rough and ragged, but it was a great file to show you where you might get some artifacts that you don't want, that you can clean up easily in the node editing tool. Everything does have to be ungrouped. Let me see here, let me show you. Let's delete this, and let me grab something. All right, let me grab this little bunny here. All right, now everything is grouped together, the little eyes and nose and the outline, it's all grouped together. So if I go to node edit, nothing will happen. All right, so the first thing you have to do is make sure the piece you're working on is ungrouped. So now it's ungrouped. That means I can move the body independently in each eye and all that good stuff. All right, so now that we've ungrouped it, you can select the part that you want to edit, click on node edit, and now you see we have all our nodes showing up, so we can edit this now. You could edit the little eyes. When I'm editing, I like to turn off the fill, so I usually turn everything red or blue while I'm editing. It's just so much simpler to see the lines when you don't have the fill layer showing. But then, you know, you just adjust where you need to and clean up your traces or whatever. Create your own custom shapes. But now, I hope this helped you a little bit. I know I may not always explain things clearly. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Again, I do hope you found some help in this video, and I will see you next time.